Good morning. Thank you for waking up early in the morning. They call me Bash Bokhari because every time I landed a plane, I used to bash it on the floor. But my name is Sayyid Bashar al-Bokhari Bashir. I'm from Pakistan. I've been living in Spain for the last 24 years. When I was young, my father told me, son, get a good degree, find a good job, and live happily ever after. I did aeronautical engineering, joined Air Force as an officer, worked for the government later, came to Spain, joined in airline business, and at that point, after somebody told me there was a financial crisis and the airline went bankrupt. At 48 years of age, I lost my job for the third time, and I was hired by the biggest company in any country, which is called the government, unemployment. I went back to work in operations of Madrid Airport, and 3 years ago I was invited by a friend to see a business opportunity meeting, which you're going to see. We are going to tell you how it happened. Now, in that meeting, there were only 4 people. My friend said, Bash, I'm starting a new project. I would like you to come and give me your opinion. I went to the business opportunity meeting. It was an extraordinary meeting. I knew I could find and identify myself with it, but I did not know how I would do it. But there was something else. The person who was doing the meeting, she was too good. Once the meeting finished, my friend asked me, Bash, what did you like best? I said, is she married? When my friend said she's not married, I said, I'll keep the 2 opportunities. I kept ACN and Myriam. Now, I'm a very Pakistani man. I have the last word in my house. I always say, yes, darling. So, now, of course, I did not know how to do the business. Myriam goes, she says, we have to go for an international training to Nice. That was in June 3 years ago. Of course, you know what I said. Yes, darling. And we went to Nice, and that's where I was right on the top. A new, fresh, the first time one, right on the top. And I saw. And there's something which I'll be talking later, is identification. I saw Mats. He says, I'm an army officer. I saw Jonas, rep. He said, I'm an army officer. I said, the Air Force has got to be there. I saw Alex Alexander, and he said, I'm Scottish. And I used to work in Air Force also. I said, good, I've got a friend of mine who worked in Air Force, so I'm going to join him. So this is how I decided I was going to be here. Now it's been 3 years, and thanks to whole of the Spanish team and fantastic people that we have, that we are here. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to my boys because they gave me such an extraordinary surprise yesterday that I was not expecting for my parade. I lost my words. Especially to my 8 stooges, they know who they are. The 8, I call them the 8 commandos. They keep around me and do everything, and this time they took me for a surprise. I didn't know what they were doing. I always know what they are doing, but this time I don't know. I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Myriam de la Sierra. I'm from Spain, and I don't know how to tell you today how excited. I slept with my ring last night. It was like a dream. I started in ACN 4 years and a couple months ago. And a friend of mine called me from Italy and said, Myriam, I have something fantastic for you. And I said, at that time, I was having my own business for 29 years. And things were not doing too hot. As bashes, sometimes you gain and sometimes you learn. I was learning to say I was not losing anything, right? So at that time, my friend said, well, Myriam, come and look at an opportunity. I said, I don't have any money. I don't have any time. I have zero interest. But my friend was very seducing. So 3 months later, he calls me up and says, Myriam, I'll invite you to spend a weekend in Nice. I said, wow, I'll go to Nice. So I went there and I saw this opportunity. And when I saw the people up here talking about ACN and I saw Françoise, I said, wow, I want to be like her. I want to be here. So when I saw that, I said, this is what I was looking for. Because I had the style of life I wanted, but I had zero quality of life. I was working all the time, and nobody helps you when you have your own business. So really, when I saw this, I thought, I can do it. So we're going to explain today how we do our presentations. And we're going to talk about on how to do an effective presentation. I'm sure lots of you are going to think, well, we're going to take notes of what are the words we need to say. Well, let me say one thing. There's two things about a presentation. One thing is the words, but I'm going to talk about the feeling. I'm going to talk about how people are going to feel when we talk about this. Because the business has nothing to do with words. It has to do with our heart. So we're going to talk today on how you can transmit what you have inside. How you can share with people the best opportunity in the world, ACN. Because we have it inside and we need to share it. So we're going to start talking about that. We're going to talk about how we're going to share what we have in our heart.
Now, you see, we have different ways of providing a business opportunity meeting. You can do it with a PBR, you can have a one-to-one interview, or you have a BOM. In any circumstances, one of the important things you have to know, and that's a general rule in life, that you should be on time. So be punctual. Now, there are different type of people who are attending the meetings. One of them is the speaker. Speaker should take at least 30 minutes, and he should be in the room, because he's got to check the room, the temperature, the equipment, the presentation, because he should know what exactly is going on. Then at the same time, you are inviting your guests. You should be the first one to be there, because when your guest comes, he's not lost. He goes, I'm looking for, and suddenly no one is there to receive him. It is indecent if you have a guest and you are not there. Then when you have the guest, you take him to the speaker, because you got to edify the speaker. You go and you say, Mr. Jones is an extraordinary businessman, and he's going to do the presentation today. And you also give a little bit of testimony of this guy. Like you say, he was in the airline pilot, or he was what? Because people have edified me as an airline pilot, and now we have got an organization from Iberia pilots and Lufthansa pilots. Now people have introduced Myriam as the business woman, and there are people who've gone. So you got to edify the people, and then you got to edify the leaders. Because you never know who's your guest. Your guest might be a leader extraordinary, and he identifies with somebody else, because we at our home do not have enough importance. People who know us, they don't trust us that much sometimes. So it's better to be outside and let the other person do the thing.
Okay, what are the key points? A lot of people, what I was saying is they think they have to know everything. Let me tell you one thing. There's one fantastic thing. We have now a co-founder, Tony Kupich, that during this last month has learned several languages, okay? So he knows now how to speak in French, in all kinds of languages, Spanish, all that. So he can give the words. We need to give the identification. So the first thing we do is we need to have faith on what we're doing. We need to believe it, because if we really don't believe what we're doing, we won't be able to share it. We're selling dreams. We're not selling a product. We're telling people how we can change their lives. So you got to have faith in what you're doing. Also, you need to be professional. You need to be prepared. But you need to be excited. But don't oversell. I see some people that are talking about the business areas. Wow! So people don't believe them. They need to be excited, but a natural excitement. But the key point is one. Let me talk a little bit about this. The key point is the Me Too's. Before you do any presentation, you need to have the people identify with you. That's the reason why you need to talk to the speakers. That's the reason why we do testimonies. The key of the business presentations is that people say, me too, I can do it. It doesn't make any difference if you do a great presentation, but you don't have any testimonies, or you don't talk about you. One of the things I normally tell people, and we have an advantage, Pastor and I, because he used to be an employee. So there's got a lot of people that say, oh, I was an employee too. I used to be a businesswoman. So a lot of people identify with being a businesswoman. But you know, one of the questions I normally ask the people is, you're working for somebody? They say, yes. I just want you to imagine one thing. In 4 months, the job you have, you lose it? How many more months are you going to be able to live the same life that you have now? Everybody can identify with that, right? So they can think, well, I need to have a plan B. I need to have something that I can work for that in the future can give me the style of life that I want. People are looking for security. You need to tell people how you were invited. Everybody has been invited the same way, right? Somebody called them up and said, well, come to look at an opportunity. They haven't said anything. So say that. I was here for the first time. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand anything, but I was looking for something. How many people say they're looking for something? How many people say, well, the month was too long, but the money wasn't good enough? Or I had my own business and I lost the business. Or I'm looking for an opportunity. I'm an immigrant. I just left my family, left everything. I came here to this country. I'm looking for a dream. How many people can identify with that? You need to talk to people on the Me Too. I'm the same way. I'm also looking for this. I'm also looking for a possibility in life. Because what you say has nothing to do with how they feel about it, okay? And let me say why. Because the first impression, okay, is very simple. People look at your face, your gestures, your clothes. That's 53% of how you express yourself. It's not the words. You see that? 38 is the way you talk, your excitement. If you're sure about what you're doing, only 7% is what you're saying. I see people doing presentations and explaining all the promotions, all the bonus, all the points. That is not the point. You need to transmit the people what they can get out of this. How can they feel about it? How can they dream about it? But not the numbers. The numbers don't motivate anybody. Let me ask you a question. If you are in love with your wife or your husband or your boyfriend and you want to marry them, for example, do you go ahead and say, well, listen, I want to know exactly what your bank account is. I want to know your mom, if it's a woman, right? Because I want to know how you're going to look like in 50 years, okay? Or you're going to say just, I'm in love with you. I just feel like marrying you. It's the emotions what people make the people take decisions, okay? Not the numbers. So what we need to do is transmit emotions, okay? So
now, in your audience or the person, even if it's a PBR or one-to-one or whatever, but you'll have 3 types of people. There would be some people who need the money today, which means there's a lot of unemployment and a lot of people are suffering, so they need the money today. Then you'll have some of the people where, I don't know if in the rest of the countries, but in Spain, it seems the month is longer than the salary. Is that true? And after the 20th of the month, you're trying to stretch and stretch and stretch, and it doesn't come through. So there might be people who want the money, some extra money to fill those 10 days. And then you will have the people who see an opportunity and they will go for it. You should be very careful in satisfying all of those people. If you're the speaker and you're doing the presentation, you should offer the opportunity for the person who needs the money today. You know, we have the video phones. Fantastic. We get the money immediately. We have energy in Holland. We get the opportunity immediately. So you offer the opportunity for the people who need the money today. Then you offer the money to the people, medium term, the people who want to have it to fill in the month. And then you will have some of them who will have it for a long time.
Okay, let me go through the presentation. And this is how a presentation goes. It starts with interest and excitement. The presentation needs to be short, okay? You cannot do presentations for an hour and a half. The attention of the people is 45 minutes maximum, okay? So you start with this. You start with the interest and excitement, and it has to go up, and it has directly to do with the time. If there's more time, people lose the excitement. They lose the interest. They cannot be paying attention. So the first thing to create the excitement, as I was saying before, is the identification. If people don't buy you, they won't listen to what you say. If you don't make people feel good, they won't listen to what you're explaining. So the most important thing is the first part. How are people going to say, I'm like her, or I'm like him, or I want to do this too, or I'm looking for an opportunity, or I want to have more time, or I want to travel, or I want to have a house, or I want to share this with people. I feel good, okay, about this. The second thing we're going to talk about is the company. Obviously, what do you need to talk about the company? We need to talk about a company that's stable, a company that's going to give us security. What are people looking for? They're looking for something stable for the whole life. So we're going to talk about the 17 years. We're going to talk about the 21 countries. We're going to talk about the future. So we need to emphasize on why this company is going to give us what's going to make us feel good. Stability. A home, okay?
Now then, we got to explain the product. Our star product is video phone. And then you tell the people, because you will see it's something which everybody uses. And then it is easy that people see that it is needed by everybody. But now the video phone is something which is extraordinary. It's the new technology, and people will identify with the emotion. I'll tell you a small story. When the video phone came out, it was very funny, because I sent a video phone to Pakistan to my brother, and I had one at home in Madrid. So Myriam came to know my brother on the video phone. The first day, Myriam knows my brother and say, hello, hi, how are you? Very nice. And I said, where are the kids? He's got kids of 8 and 10 years. So the second day, the kids come on the video phone to see their aunt. And they go like, ah. Now the kid goes out in the street. That's the funny part, I was told. He goes out in the street and he goes and tells his friend, my uncle in Spain has a white woman. Now in Pakistan, that's different. And the people went. His friend goes, how do you know that? He says, I saw it on the telephone. Now, we're living in a world where a lot of things we know, but you got to know Pakistan. I mean, the kid goes, that's impossible. He goes home, he says, Mom, my friend told me his uncle has a white woman and he saw it on the phone. And the mother goes, this kid is teaching my son to lie. She gets ready, goes to my brother's house and say, told my sister-in-law, your son is teaching my son to lie. He says, how's that? She says, he says, your brother-in-law has a white woman and he saw on the telephone. He says, yeah, that's true. Here's the video phone. She looks like that. She goes in. She says, if you want to know, you come tomorrow because he's going to be calling us because there's a time lag, so we've got a time to see each other. Now, what do the women in the villages do? Talk. So the next 24 hours, she went out telling everyone, the neighbor's brother married a white woman and we can see it on the telephone. Now everybody goes like, really? Yeah, she said, come over. Now the third day when we called, and my brother goes, look what you've created. Talk to them. The whole village was there. We have a very strong product. Then now people want to know, what do they have in for them? What are they going to make? Tell them the compensation plan. Tell them the compensation plan, short term, medium term, and long term. But you have to keep in mind that our residual income is the important thing. People want to know, how do we make money? So talk about the customers. You say, you get 20 to 25 customers. If you find 2 people, they get 20 to 25 customers. Now you get paid for 75 customers. And when it repeats again, then you get paid for 175. And you keep on going like that to the end. Now, if you see, you say, for 250 representatives, you end up getting 6,000 customers, but actually you only trained 2 people. People will identify, they'll see 6,000 customers. And that's when you explain to them, if you get just a little bit for 6,000 customers, it's extraordinary what they will make.
Okay, well, obviously, when we start talking about money, and you know exactly the example, right? We talk about a lot of money. So people, when they look at it, they think it's too good to be true, right or wrong? You know, one of the things we need to learn how to do when we explain the business is tell little stories so that people relate to it, so that people pay attention to what you're saying. So when we talk about, is it credible? I normally give a little example, like Bash talks about the product, I talk about this. I said, when I saw ACN, I thought it was too good to be true. 90% of the people would say, yeah, that's true. It sounds too good, too much money. So I said, what I did is I sent some lawyers. I found out through a bank what the company was all about, if they were really a strong company. And the third thing I did was I went to see the offices because I did not believe they existed, because it was too good. And then after a while, I realized I was stupid. I say that, I attack myself, because at the end of the presentation, we need to attack ourselves saying, well, what did I do? So I realized, I said, I was really stupid. A company that's been 17 years around, that works with the top operators in every single country, the top ones, and a company that is now in 21 countries, how is it that it can be credible? Obviously, I talk about that. I talk about a little story that would relate. If you don't have your story, talk about somebody else. My friend came to look at it, and then he realized this and that. Is it simple? That's the key. The people need to know that this business is simple, very simple. Because of what? Because you can do it. That's the key. They have to feel good doing it. Said, what are your clients? Bash normally says, my first client, he takes one of his phones out of his pocket. My second client, he takes another phone out of his pocket. Is it simple? Yes, anybody can do it. Everybody talks on the phone. It's a simple product, and it's a simple opportunity. Give examples. Do you know if anybody wants to make some money? Do you know of anybody who's very old and now doesn't have enough money? Do you know of young people? Do you know? They need to see, I can do it. I feel good doing it. Then can I make some money? Well, listen to this. I don't normally say big things. And my point in the presentation is not tell people you need to pay the $399, you need to sign up today. When I talk about can I make money, you know what I said? Not everybody's going to make money because they're waiting for you to say, oh, you're going to get rich. No, you're not going to get rich if you don't want to get rich. I normally say 5% of the people are going to make a lot of money. The ones who have the desire, but I don't know if it's you. The one who's sitting right there, I don't know if it's you, the one who has the desire of having a better life. The second thing I say is another 5% of the people are going to start in the business and are going to do like me. I inscribe myself every year 3 times to the gym. I never make it. So a lot of people start the university, don't make it. If you don't come to a training, if you don't know how to do it, and if you don't work, you're not going to make it. And 90% of the people are going to get what they want. They're going to have their freedom, they're going to have this, they're going to have that. I explain it this way. The key point is, are they going to help me? That's what I liked. I had my own business. I was scared to death to start another business. I have no risk. They're going to help me. Why? Because your success is our success. Am I going to have fun? You need to talk about having fun. People love it. People love to be in places where they have fun. And also, is it the best time to start? You have to talk about the opportunity. Now we have new products. Now we're right on the edge of getting everything what somebody wants. There's going to be 2 kinds of people. Everybody's going to talk about using a video phone in the future. In 3 or 5 years, everybody's going to have a video phone. There's going to be 2 kinds of people. The ones who pay the bill and the ones who make money on the others who are paying the bill. Which one you'll be part of? Okay? And so people identify with that. It's the right time. Okay? So what happens? Most of the people say, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Listen, I was in this business before I started in ACN. I had my own business. And you know, for me, it was a dream. I would have paid $399 in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening to have the support that ACN gives us. People don't realize it. A lot of people say, how much does the fee cost? I said, it cost me $399. But you want to know the value of the $309 after 4 years, what it is? My license is worth millions now. Do you want to know the cost or do you want to know the value? And that's what we have to share with people. This is an opportunity that can change our lives, but they have to see it. Normally people don't believe it, okay?
Yeah, no, you got to make the people think where they are today. And that will make them know where they want to be tomorrow. It's a very simple example, I'll tell you. Think about this thing. Where are you today? That's where we were 3 years ago. Do you want to be here in 3 years? So think about where you are and think about where you can be and let the dream magic work for you. And it will. It will not stop you. It will take away the hurdles and it will let you live. So let people see themselves now. They take a picture of their reality now and then show them what they will be in future. And that is going to make them move.
Okay, what we need to share with people is the dreams. Okay, a lot of people, when they talk in the business presentation, they talk about me. I have 2 people, I'm making this money. No, people are not interested about you. They're interested about them. And that's the key. So make them dream. You need to be a dreamer. You know why? Because most of the people don't know what they're thinking of. They're like dead. They're only waiting for them to bury them, to be together. Okay? So what do you need to do? You're not selling a product. You know something? The people who sell products make money. The people who sell ideas get rich. What do you want to do? Okay? So what you need to do is Sell the idea. You need to push the little button of all those people that are there and see how you can get the heart. How can they say, I want to do it? Wasn't this good for you? Isn't it good for you? That's my question. Isn't it going to be good for them? So you need to be an expert of pushing the button, of telling them how they can get something that they forgot about. How can they be a better person, how they can make money, how they can have freedom, how they can have security, how they can feel good. That's the key.
Now, it's a very simple thing. Don't think about yourself. Don't think about yourself. Think about the person who's come with you. You got to help him. Think of how you can help the person. Start saying in the normal language, how can I help you? How can I help you? Because if you start saying that, you're mentally ready to start seeing how you're going to help you. Don't think about your qualifications, about the bonus, about the money. And Zig Ziglar said, if you help others to get what they want, you will get whatever you want. And we can tell you from our experience that it is happening to us.
Okay, when we're talking about that, we say in the meetings, it said, your success is going to be our success. So we're going to help you. And when I talk about that, you're not alone. And that's the key. People need security. We are here to help you. And that's what we're going to share. Okay?
Now, it's a question of making a decision. You have to have the person make the decisions, but people will make the decisions faster because of the fear of the loss rather than what they will win. So you got to make them see what they are going to lose if they are not here. Now, if the people are not in the month of September starting the business, they can lose 10,000 euros bonus. Make them see it, and it will start them rolling.
Okay, here's somebody that says in Spanish, allí yace uno que iba a ser feliz mañana. Here's somebody that's dead that was going to be happy tomorrow. So help people to take decisions now. What we do is we don't go to the close. We tell the people, you come to the training. If you have any questions, come to the training. If you like it, come to the training. If you're not interested, come to the training. Okay? And that's what we do. We make them take decisions about that. Sort of time.
There's only one question in the end. Do not start repeating the presentation. The people start saying, let me tell you what you have to do again. No, they have seen. You just want to let them see. And there's only one question. What did you like best? Remember, I was asked, what did you like best? Is she married? It's so simple. Ask that question. And then you know what the person wants it. Do not try to create explanations. Because the second question is, when would you like to start? Or why you don't want to start today? And you have the people who want to do it.
You know what? Because what's going to happen after the meeting? If you share this little button, if you move them around, if they have the feelings of, I've seen something, I did not understand anything, but I don't know why I like it, you know, they're going to go home. And there's a big problem. I want you to know exactly what is out there. There is an invasion. I don't know if you know about it. There is an invasion of aliens. Those aliens are all around the world. And you know what happened? When you get home, you find something different. You know, those aliens talk to each other and know if they destroy the dreams of the people, they can conquer the world. And what they do is they destroy the dreams. So you get home and your guest gets home all excited. And you know what happened? Suddenly one of those aliens is inside their mother-in-law. And you know what happened? They get home and the mother-in-law looks at them and said, what did you drink last night? Are you crazy? Are you going to get rich? Is that going to... What are you talking about? That's a cult. Did you know about that? The only thing they want is your money. You know, then they go back to somebody else, like the wife or the brother-in-law, and they say the same thing. And you know what? just I give them an advice. You know, these little aliens have one thing. They have two little antennae because what they're doing is they're detecting all the negative stuff that are out there. So when those guests come back home, or when you go back home, just do one little thing. If that person starts talking to you that way, just look around and touch their little head a little bit and see if they got those little horns, okay? And if they got those little horns, you know they're the aliens. So no problem. You just breathe a little bit, let them talk for a little while, and they'll be okay afterwards. So let me explain just one thing. If you're able to share the emotions, if you're able to make people dream, when the aliens out there, nothing's going to happen. You guys, we have the best opportunity. The only thing we need to do is share it with others. Let me tell you, our biggest emotion, what makes us feel so good, is know that in this business, we have the most incredible people. And let me tell you, yesterday, I was so emotional to know that our team was working for 2 weeks to come over here, bring us this little plane, and make us feel happy. That doesn't pay with anything. Just that's the best feeling that you can get out of this business. The feeling that you have a home, the feeling that you have friends, the feeling that you have a future. Just get out there and talk to people every day and share this feeling with them. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.